Hey, what's good, everybody? So it's safe to assume, hopefully from my end, that most of the people in the Dokkan community have basically already seen videos or heard about the reverse function basically being taken away in Dokkan. And this is whether you like it or you don't like it, like if you like it or like if you love it or hate it, whatever you really like think about it, it's got its flaws and it's got pros and cons, whichever way that you're necessarily looking at this. For new people, it's definitely a way better, like, streamlined Dokkan experience, because let's be honest, the experience from Dokkan from a new player versus an old player is completely different. Like, all the old players in Dokkan have basically all us old heads, all us unks, whatever, like, we all remember the game being played a certain way and doing the things a certain way. And with the new people that's been coming into Dokkan, it's basically been streamlined to them to where they can get into the game as quick as possible. Because let's be honest, over the years of Dokkan, they've had a very big pool of people come to the game during like anniversaries, worldwide celebrations, Tanabontas, the big name celebrations, and then they drop off because of content wise, because they're not getting as many dragon stones, yada yada yada. All the other cases like the hard events, all this stuff, like they pretty much get dropped off after a good little bit of time. And if you've been watching and been playing Dokkan, you've seen people come into the community, come out of the community, maybe come back in the community at certain times around those big times, and then go right back out because they're like, eh. So basically, I see what they're doing. I see their vision. They're trying to streamline it to make it all so much easier for people to stay in the Dokkan community and play the game, enjoy the game in the ecosystem, and not be like scratching their head, like, well, why is this unit not doing this, not doing that, yada yada yada. Like, I get their vision, I understand it, but again, looking at it certain different ways, it's like from new players, you're probably like, "Ooh, this is really good." And even like for someone that's been here for a very long time, like I'm still looking at it like, okay, that's actually pretty good how things are going to be going. And they even show like certain situations of like basically one of the good representations right here of Godku of being like, hey, his whole tree. So basically, your whole awakening tree, like any of those units that are in that tree are going to give you a percentage. So any of the other SSR, Super Saiyan Goku's, or anything like that, if they're in that tree, then they're going to help with your leveling up of your actual super attack, and that's great. That's cool. I like that for a lot of reasons, especially for new players and stuff like that. And again, for your box and stuff like that, if you've been having trouble with sort of getting certain units, if you like, for instance, if you're pretty much hurting on Kais, which is kind of sort of hard in Dokkan when they give a lot of Kais, like they would rather give out a lot of Kais in the game before they give out quite a bit amount of Dragon Stones and like everything out of a big celebration. Like, I get what they're saying, I get what they're doing, and like I said, it makes sense for a degree, but this is going to be going into effect in October. Now, I'm someone that whenever I make my own content, like I said, I do my own things. I talk about things how I want to talk about and how I perceive them, and I don't necessarily let like other people sort of influence how I perceive something that I'm seeing right here. Now, I've already seen people say that this is going to be bad for certain reasons, like only the 1% of people in the community are going to hurt and hate this so much, and yada yada yada. But like, I've seen a comment that had me thinking quite a bit, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can see what they're saying with this one, and it kind of does make sense. And it's basically a comment. It was on like Truth's video. Somebody was talking about how um, it was a situation where it looks like they're cracking down on people that were basically just getting a bunch of the same characters and then farming out links to get their score up pretty high. Now, I'm gonna be transparent. I do not have a huge power score or power level in this game currently right now. My days of like, being on stream for like 5 hours and link leveling and stuff like that. If you've been here for a very long time on the channel, I was doing that like every day. Like all those is gone. Like I had too much things going on in my life to sit down and just link level all the time, all the time, all the time. So for me personally wise, I don't necessarily care if there's new units to come out. I get them link level 10s. I don't necessarily worry about the old units all that much, because to be fair, a lot of the older units that are going to get easy A's or super easy A's, even the spicy and future units, are basically sort of like afterthoughts after a while. Like, most people don't necessarily really care about those units unless they're like very, very, very good in certain niches. Then other than that, most people don't really care whatsoever at all about a unit. So when I see things like this that happen, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's pretty solid for new players. Even for me, like for instance, like when I go back into the actual game. So everything that you have that's currently reverted back right now are going to basically revert to their max stages. So if they're an LR and you have them at the UR version, not TUR, they're going to go straight up to the LR. And if they're TUR, they're going to go to TUR. If they're UR, they're going to go to TUR. And that's how it's going to be. So basically, like all the units that I have currently sitting right here will all be awakened back up to where they're at right now. And that's fine. Whatever. Like the issue that I've seen for a lot of people when they're talking about it, and again, I do somewhat agree with the things that are being said, because as someone that's played this game for a very long time, has put a lot of money into the game and stuff like that, I tend to have a lot of dupes, like not to the extent of like someone that spends way more than me, but for someone that's been collecting in the game for a very long time, I have a lot of dupes. I have a lot of LRs that are rainbowed, and like their TURs rainbowed, their URs rainbowed and stuff like that. And like I said, for the Awakening and everything, like I'm like, all right, I understand it. And for the link level wise, like some of them I've worked on, some of them I haven't. I haven't really taken the initiative to go that hard in there and stuff like that. Because like I said, I'm playing other games, I'm doing other things. I don't really have the time necessarily to do that. Some of the times I look at myself currently right now in Dokkan, sometimes as a filthy casual, like to be honest, like I come in, like I do the things I need to do, and then I get off because nothing necessarily new has changed into this game except damage wise and stuff like that. Like other than that, other than the units getting like stronger because the events are getting harder, not a lot necessarily changes in the game. So it's like when they introduce something like this, and I'm gonna put it back up for a second, because when they introduce things like this, it makes me feel like if they're taking away a function that's been in the game, then it sort of feels like they're either working on something that's necessarily better in the future for another update, and that's the reason why. And if that's the case, like I was looking and thinking to myself, because I'm not going to say this is something that they're going to do, but it's something that they might possibly, take a look at in the future and maybe see how it goes. But I was going through checking characters and stuff like that, and I was kind of like, man, we don't have a unit that can awaken to certain things. Like we have units that have their streamlined stuff that you go on, and like one of the things that I was looking at the most was Frieza's. Frieza would kill me if he knew I was about to spell his name wrong. But like all the old Friezas down here, like all these SRs that awaken to golden Friezas and stuff like that, like it was like that was probably some of the like unique things that we got in the game, where it was like, oh, all of them are going to go to a golden Frieza. Okay, that's cool. That gives these SRs, something. Like, have I done it? No, absolutely. Have I got massive amounts of these units? Yes. Have I done anything with them? Absolutely not. But like you can see through here where it's like all these guys, and there's different versions of them. Like there's a couple that are STR, and there's two tech and two AGL down through here, and you're like, damn, okay, like that's about it. Like that's really the most unique things, especially when it comes to SRs and stuff like that, necessarily got in this game. My brain sort of like goes to another thing, that like, what if going in the future, the reason why all this reverse stuff is gone and all that stuff is because they are going to implement a new system where maybe a new unit comes out, and depending on the medals that you get for the unit, maybe they actually can awaken to something else. Like for instance, like maybe if you take like Super Saiyan, like maybe you get like a base form Goku, and you can go for a Super Saiyan Goku, that like an LR Super Saiyan Goku that you can get out of it, or a Super Saiyan 2 LR Goku, or maybe a Super Saiyan 3. And it's like, that sounds like, for some people that may be thinking about that and be like, damn, that's kind of dumb. You think they do that? It's been almost 11 years in the game, and that's a function that's not in the game. And they're taking the function out of a reverse exchange, and also saying that basically in the awakening tree, your whole linear line, any of those units with that same name can up your SA. Which does make it easier on getting dupes of certain characters and stuff like, because you're like, oh, if I get a dupe of that, Oh, well, there you go. Now I can use that to up the essay for that character right off the bat without using the Elder Cos. And even if there are LR, I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a unit going forward, because that's like, think about the things that we've got in this game, all the mechanics that we've got in this game, all the wacky sort of mechanics. And for Awakening wise, almost 11 years of the game. And I'm really trying to think of another unit that I'm sitting here like, if you get these medals and get these medals and get these medals, like in the Awakening tree, like they'll awaken to this, sure, they'll awaken to that, but that's a linear. It's not like a situation where you see like right here where this Frieza is this right there. It's not like there's like a branch that branches off here and then branches off here, and depending on the medal that you get, like right through here is who you get out of that. There's none of that in this game. I'm just saying, food for thought. But you go down through here, and again, like I said, there's none of that. It's completely streamlined right now. Completely streamlined. Nothing in this game that says, yeah, let's branch that off. Let's branch that off. Like I said, with the freezes and stuff like that, like, sure, you can get those medals, but at the end of the day, like, it's just going streamlined. There's no that and that, or hell, even 3. Like I said beforehand, there's none of that. There's no like, oh, here's Goku, here's another Goku that you're awakening, just regular awakening, and there's another Goku that you're using certain metal to actually awaken to, and then it doesn't branch off to other things. There's none of that. And it's very weird that this game's been out for so long and we don't have that. Like, we don't necessarily have that. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, from a standpoint of seeing a function like as big as reverse exchange and stuff like that, and they're just like, yeah, no, we're gonna do away with that out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, that don't seem odd. I'm just saying, that seems odd to me. It seems like they're in the works for something major to happen. And like I said, if it's a situation where the next sort of meta is awakening characters to 2 different things, so basically, I'm just saying, from a standpoint of Dokkan and also the player, the only downside I can sort of say is that if you're summoning and you get like 1 copy, then you're like, oh man, I got this one, but man, damn, I now I want the other one, but I already put a dupe in this one. You see what I'm saying? But for the standpoint of a business wise, that's like, oh, wait, hold on. That means you have to summon, like, and from people that summon quite a bit, that's not necessarily bad, because now for 1 character, you're chasing 2 characters for 1 character. And when you think about, you know, anniversary wise and global Dokkan campaign wise, where you got dual, you see what I'm saying? Dual banners. Now you're chasing double the unit out of it. And if you already rainbow 1 side of the unit, now you can still chase after the unit, and again, you'll still be able to get everything from that unit in their awakening line to actually like up essays and stuff like that. But then you're chasing the other unit. So it would make getting dupes of a unit better and not being like dreadful, like, I don't know. Let me know if that's a fire idea or not, but I just feel like when something like this happens big like that, it's usually like something major is about to happen around that aspect, and that's why it might be better. And again, for someone like me and Dokkan that's been here for a very long time, that's something that I don't think I've really truly ever heard anybody say in this game, of being like, hey, how about we awaken this unit to this, and then or to this, and now you have 3 different LRs or TURs out of it that you can still chase that unit. So whenever they return on another banner or you buy them, now you know, like, I already got another unit out of that. That makes your coin slot valuable. I don't know. I'm just spitballing at the end of this one. You can let me know in the comment section below if you think that's a decent idea. You think that could be something that they're necessarily working on, because like I said, almost 11 years of this game and we ain't got that at all. It's a little peculiar. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, have an awesome day / night. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications where you get notified when we go live and put up more videos. Other than that, have an awesome day / night. Stay safe. And I'm out. Peace.